A man walked into a dealership expecting nothing more than a routine oil change. Less than 30 minutes later, he was staring at a repair estimate for over $9,000. The diagnosis? Complete engine replacement. The car had less than 60,000 miles. It had been serviced on time. There were no major warning signs. So how does an engine fail that early? At first, it looked like an isolated incident. But then mechanics across the country started noticing something strange. Different owners, different brands, different engines, yet somehow, the same kinds of expensive failures kept appearing. Honda, Toyota, General Motors, Hyundai, Ford, Volkswagen. The question wasn't whether these companies built the same engine. The question was, why were so many modern turbo engines developing similar problems? Chapter 1. The pattern nobody noticed. If you search automotive forums, repair shops, owner groups, and industry reports, one pattern begins to appear. Many modern turbocharged engines have experienced issues ranging from excessive oil consumption to turbocharger failures, connecting rod problems, fuel system defects, or manufacturing issues. The failures aren't identical, but the timing is interesting. Almost every major manufacturer has spent the last decade chasing the same goal: more power, better fuel, economy, lower emissions, and they all arrived at nearly the same solution: smaller turbocharged engines. Coincidence? Or the beginning of a much bigger engineering challenge? Chapter 2. The hidden compromise. Here is what most drivers never think about. 20 years ago, family sedan might have used a naturally aspirated V6. Today, that same car might rely on a turbocharged four-cylinder engine that's significantly smaller but produces similar power. How? By forcing much more air into the engine. That extra boost creates incredible performance, but it also creates something else: more heat, more pressure, more stress. Turbochargers can spin at well over 100,000 RPM. While temperatures inside the system become extreme, modern engineering can absolutely handle those conditions, but only when every component, every manufacturing tolerance, and every maintenance interval work exactly as intended. When one small thing goes wrong, the consequences can become very expensive. Chapter 3. What mechanics started seeing. Experienced technicians often say major engine failures rarely happen without leaving clues. The problem is, most owners don't recognize them. A slight increase in oil consumption, a faint whistle from the turbo, a brief check engine light, small loss of power on their own. Each symptom seems harmless. Together, they can tell a very different story. That's why professional technicians don't rely on a single fault code. They investigate the entire system before replacing anything, because sometimes the turbo isn't the problem. Sometimes the fuel system is. Sometimes it's an oil supply issue. Sometimes it's something much simpler, and that's exactly why guessing can become so expensive. Chapter 4. The mistake that costs thousands. Here's where many owners unknowingly make things worse. The warning light appears. Someone scans the car. A fault code points toward one component. That component gets replaced. The warning disappears for a while. Then it comes back because the code wasn't identifying the failed part. It was only reporting what the engine computer had detected. Professional diagnosis starts with one question: what caused this condition? Not, which part should I replace? That difference alone can save thousands of dollars. Chapter 5. How to protect your engines. What can you actually do? First, never ignore changes in engine behavior, even if they seem minor. Second, check your oil level regularly. Turbochargers depend on clean, properly maintained oil more than almost any other engine component. Third, if a warning light appears, don't settle for someone who only reads fault codes. Ask what tests were performed to confirm the diagnosis, and Finally, check whether your specific vehicle has any open recalls or manufacturer service campaigns. Nah, because every turbo engine has a problem, but because catching an issue early is almost always cheaper than replacing an engine later. So, are modern turbo engines bad? No. Millions of them deliver years of reliable service, but they are more advanced, more powerful, and less forgiving than the engines many drivers grew up with. The biggest danger isn't owning a turbocharged car, it's ignoring the small warning signs until they become a major repair. Because by the time the engine finally tells you something is wrong, it may already be too late, and that's exactly what happened to thousands of owners who thought everything was fine until the repair bill proved otherwise. If you enjoyed this investigation, subscribe. Because in the next episode, we're uncovering the hidden maintenance mistakes that silently destroy modern engines long before the first warning light ever appears.